was part of the journey. I was looking at all the life. There were plants and birds and rocks and things. There was sand and hills and rain. The first thing I met was a fly with a buzz and the sky with no clouds. The heat was hot and the ground was dry, but the air was full of sound. I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one for to give you no pain.
Hi, my name is Neo Luce, and this is my microphone. I hope you guys hear me well. And today I'm gonna talk about a subject that influenced me a lot in the way I think and in the way I perceive my life and life in general, the experience of life in general. And it's a substance, and this substance is psilocybin. Shrooms, basically. Yeah, shrooms. I have my little notebook here with all the things I need to say, because it's really hard to just press the record button and spit out everything you have in your brain without writing first. Well, I find it difficult, so I need to do this personally. So let's start by saying why I want to talk about shrooms. I know they have a big role in who I am today, and I know they changed me a lot, and for the good and for the bad. So I'm here to document it. I'm here to say what I saw. And I just feel like me not talking about these experiences, me not being totally honest with you guys, would be just like disrespectful. And no, I really feel like I gotta talk about this, even though I really don't want to, because I feel like maybe it's gonna give a bad example to some people. Maybe some people will think this is the way, and I truly don't want someone to think that, because I know for sure that substances that alter your consciousness, even though they can help sometimes, they are not the way to God, they are not the way to truth, they are not the way to peace. They are a beautiful illusion from where you can learn, and that's it. The first time I did psilocybin, I was 18 years old, and I was in a state of mind very curious and destructive at the same time. I started weed not long ago, before I became 18 years old. From there I tried cigarettes, and I was just on a down path, but I was curious about where it leads, and I guess it leads where I am right now. I always knew what shrooms would do to you. I always knew what were shrooms. I know that like you can have hallucinations and you can trip and shit. I never really was interested in it, but one day a very close friend of mine, with whom I was smoking weed basically every day, said, let's try these shrooms. And I was 18 and I said yes. So at my first trip I realized that the soul was something real. The soul was within us, or the soul was us. And from me realizing and seeing the soul, I could now differentiate it from the ego in a more simple, easier instinctive way. That's one of the realizations I made that night. Another one was, one day I'll stop living. It means that one day I'll die eventually, but I'll never stop really existing. Because see, I die, but I never stop existing. So the only thing that I could compare the littleness of my life to was the immensity and the infinity of my existence. Because when I'll die, I'll either go to hell or heaven, and in both I'll stay there forever. So the littleness of my life really is worth nothing. We will only realize how small this life is when we'll die. That's what I realized this night. And I started this path of thinking because even though I did these shrooms and even I had these experiences and I had these heroic doses, well, I always kept my spirituality grounded. I always kept my religion as fundamental truth. And see, these type of substances are prohibited in my religion. So the more and more I was doing the bad things that my religion and God prohibited, the more I was understanding why they were prohibited. The more I was understanding how it can influence others in a bad path. How it can just fuck your life, fuck your mind if you're not aware enough, if you're not conscious enough, and you don't realize it yet, but you see it every day with crackheads on the street. It's like a new perspective was shown to me, and I was now able to see from a brand new perspective, a perspective that nobody seemed to have at that point. So I started to see real evil, and I started to see real good in people's face, in basically everything. In everything I could see, name, or touch, I knew instantly if it was bad or good, if it was from a source of divine or evil. I ain't gonna lie, it isolated me a lot, but for the better. Life is way more peaceful now. From these experiences that killed my ego, not totally, of course not. Your ego will always stay there. But I could now differentiate between the ego and the soul instantly when I saw someone, because I realized that we are all the same thing. Fundamentally, we are all the same being, but just shaped by different experiences, and we are at different mental places. So at this point, I could just read people. So throughout 3 years, I had 4 psilocybin trips, 4 heroic doses, and they were all with the same friend with whom I was still smoking on the side weed with every day. And we really got into a mental, metaphysical space that I haven't been there again, because like it was 2 subconscious minds merging with each other's, and they were making like some kind of a dance. Like me and him would smoke or take these substances, psilocybin, shrooms, and we would sit still and talk, and wisdom would just flow through us. And sometimes I would hear him say something that would just click with me, and the other way around also. Sometimes I just say like things that I couldn't even imagine or think about. Almost like these things were flowing through me. And we kept exploring this realm. We kept exploring this other reality, this altered consciousness, until a day where I kept hearing about DMT. I kept hearing about DMT, and we decided to try it. And 1 or 2 months later, after deciding to try it, we get a call from another friend of us that we talked to him about it, and we told him like, if you can find some DMT for us, we would like to try it. And he did in like a week or two. And we went for an hour ride, and we came to this small little shop in the middle of the woods where the guy was selling DMT. And I was so fucking scared. I've never been as scared as the day I tried DMT in my life. Because I knew that from like 5 hours from here, I'd be in another realm completely that I haven't seen yet, that I couldn't imagine, that basically I'll experience death before dying. And I was very scared. So I asked God very humbly and in a very scared manner. And I told him, God, I really don't know if this is good for me or no. Oh, Sunny. God, like, if this is good for me, bless me with it. But if it's not meant for me, protect me from it. And the weird thing is, we had one dose for the both of us. And I took more puffs, and I took harder puffs than my friend. And all I could feel is kind of a pressure in the neck, like a shroom feeling, but way more intense. I felt like the world was about to crumble around me, but it didn't. But for him, I don't want to get into the details, but he started crying, he started doing at one point he just like went away. At one point he just like escaped from where we were. We were at another guy's place, a neighbor of him, of my friend. And I haven't breakthrough, but he ended up in the psychiatric hospital for 2 weeks or a month. And after that, a few days after that, we stopped talking to each other because the link was broken. We were not us anymore. There was a separation in time. We had different experiences now. Me and him. I don't know if I should be grateful or sad for what happened, but I'm grateful. I want to say I'm grateful. So yeah, we stopped talking to each other, and we both took different routes, different ways, different paths. 1 year passed, and after that I tried microdosing. And microdosing was like the shift somewhere for me. When I came back from a trip 2-3 months ago, 2 friends of mine came to me and they were like, oh man, we gotta celebrate, you just came back and all. So I was, yeah, okay, hell yeah. And when I went to see them, we were just like in the car. Celebrating for us is not going to the club or partying or drinking. We were just in the car talking, having a chat, having a laugh, and smoking a joint. And this guy who proposed to us, should we take shrooms? And it was a complicated night. Fun but complicated. But the interesting part was when I got home. When I got home, by the way, I didn't drive. My wife came to take me. And I was so loving, present, and conscious of how fragile she was. I was conscious of how fragile she was, how fragile is a woman. And it flipped something around in me, and I was like, holy fuck, I gotta be strong for this woman. And at this moment I was, because I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's the dose, I don't know if it's the mindset, but I was 100% present when I got home. And I've never felt such connection with my woman when we were driving back home. It was a cosmic conversation. We both cried. See, I feel like when you're on Mosh and you talk to a woman, I feel like you take her by the hand and you make her take a dip in your daydream. And it can be as beautiful as horrifying, depending on you. So after that day, I decided that I would start microdosing, and I started really researching it and going. I went like deep down in the rabbit hole. I spent money on it. I tried the James Fadiman protocol. And then I started experiencing my own things for the last month. I got a lot of benefits from it, from testing ways of microdosing, because I truly think everybody has different reactions to these substances. I truly think that these substances make you live or adopt a state of consciousness that you lack and you need. So that's the positive things about it. But the bad side of it is that it's a fake way. It's a fake way to God. It's a fake path to freedom and truth. It's delusion. It's delusion because we can achieve these states of consciousness without any substances. You don't need them, and the more you use them and you touch states of consciousness that you want to be in without these substances, the more you go away from these states of consciousness in their natural way. Breathing, prayer, contemplation are better alternatives to being in touch with these types of consciousness. The best way to explore the inner is not to take substances, but just to explore your thoughts, explore your experiences, and ponder upon your life and your emotions. I don't encourage the usage of any drugs. So have a good night.
You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one for to give.